Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. If you follow me or CJ Pony Parts on social media, you've probably seen the light-up grill horse for the 2015 Mustang. We created a lot of buzz about this when we installed it on our SEMA car, but for that installation it was a custom install, so we don't want to show you the details. So today we're actually going to show you how to properly install the light-up grill horse using this 2015 Mustang GT. This light-up grill horse is a genuine Ford accessory and will fit all 2015 and up Mustangs. It's a direct replacement for your factory horse and plugs into your marker lights, so every time the marker lights are on, it will light up as well. It has a nice soft light to it that has a really nice custom subtle touch to your late model Mustang. For this installation, with a lift or a jack and jack stands, 1/4-inch ratchet, 5mm socket, 5.5mm socket, 7mm socket, 8mm socket, short extension, 7mm wrench, panel removal tool, plastic pry bar, drill, 1/4-inch drill bit, 1.5-inch hole saw, and safety glasses. A couple things about this installation before I get started with it. If you have a GT or a V6, you actually can do this installation without taking the bumper off the car. Now you will have to drill a hole in the factory grille with the grill emblem off, but it is possible to do it with the front bumper still on the car. Now in our case, we are going to take the bumper off because we're going to show you a more detailed installation on how to do it. Plus, if you have an EcoBoost, you will have to remove the bumper. There's no way to do it with the bumper on the car. To remove the bumper, we're going to start by removing the radiator cover. It's held in place by these little push pin clips. The cover off, we can remove the upper hardware for the bumper cover. There's going to be screws across the top here and two tiny ones, depending on your car, are probably going to be hidden under these weather strip. Pull that back and then right there. And now we're working on removing the lower splash shield. There's going to be bolts across the front and back and some plastic clips as well. Now we're removing the wheel well. We're going to remove these two clips on the bottom to start. To give us a little more room to get up in there and unplug our lights. The splash shield's loose, now we can reach up and plug the lights. With the two lower clips out of the way, now we're going to move this upper clip here. Now this is a step many people have missed in the past and it will damage your bumper. The reason we're taking off the splash shield here, you got to pull it back out of the way. And then right up in here, the top, right here, is a little 7mm screw. You have to remove that, or when you try to pull the bumper cover off, it's actually going to rip the corner of the cover because it's attached to the fender. The hardware and clips removed. Now you want to get the inside of the bumper cover, give it a light tug, it'll pop right off. Now there are alignment pins up top here, so this you sort of want to lift up. And remove the cover. Now this car has an aftermarket grill emblem, but the factory emblem will be held on by 4 of these metal retainers. You can carefully remove them with a panel removal tool or a screwdriver. Honestly, a lot of times they might just break, but that doesn't matter if you're taking the old horse off as long as you don't need it again. Now this has some double stick tape on it. Your factory emblem will not have that. At this point, your factory emblem will just come right off. And you can see our new horse is the exact same size and shape as the original. And then it has the studs on the back for mounting. Now the difference here obviously is the power for the wiring, so we'll have to drill a hole for this next. Now Ford includes this template for the hole. What you're going to do is put this in these 2 holes here, one in the tail, one in the body. And then mark the center And that's our center for our hole. Now I marked the hole, but you can actually use the template if you want as well and just sort of hold it here, drill a 1/4 inch hole through it. That's going to be our guide hole for our larger hole. The next step, you want to be careful. You'll need an 1.5 inch hole saw. If you don't have an 1.5 inch, worst case, you could use a smaller hole. Just kind of open it up with a file. But if you have an 1.5 inch hole saw, that's really what you need to do this properly. Make sure the hole is deburred. Kind of clean the area as best you can. I'm going to grab the new horse with the harness and fish it through. And line up all the holes. And push the horse into place. While putting pressure on the horse, we're going to install the retainers to get it centered. Grab a 5mm socket, a deep one usually works well. Provide even pressure, push it down into place. Now that the harness over to the driver's side, the marker light's right here. We're going to take this applied plug from Ford, plug that right in, and then when it goes back on the car, we'll plug that there. I want to fish the harness and hide it so it doesn't get in the way. What I'm going to do is lift up on this clip here. This thing comes up pretty easily. Try to get it down and out of the way. Okay, now we're ready to put the bumper back on the car. An extra set of hands is definitely not a bad idea here, as it is kind of large and cumbersome to put on. Now before doing anything else, we're going to reach up inside here and we're going to plug everything back in. Make sure it works before we reinstall all the panels. Now remember, this plug here will now plug into the new plug from our running pony. Now since it's tied into your marker lights, to check it, simply hit unlock on your key fob and it should light up. Once you verify the horse is working properly, now we can reinstall all the clips and screws that we removed. Make sure all 5 of these alignment studs are in the right place. I'm going to start in the middle and reinstall the factory hardware. Don't forget the 2 little small ones on the sides here. Reinstall the radiator cover with the original clips. Pull back the splash shields now and install the screws. Hold the fender to the bumper. Next, reinstall the 3 push pins in the fender liner. Make sure it is seated properly before you do that though. Same process on the other side. And we can reinstall the hardware underneath here. And then finally the 4 screws. And your installation is finished. Now I know decorative lighting isn't everybody's thing, but in my opinion, it's a nice subtle touch that really looks good in front of the S550 Mustang. The installation, as you saw, isn't terribly bad. Like I said, if you have a GT or V6, you could actually do this on the car, not take the bumper off. With the EcoBoost, because of the shutter system, you really don't have any choice. But overall, it's not bad to do. Even taking the bumper off, it's a 2-hour install. Be back on the road in no time.